5, brought to you by Talking Rocks Cavern. Explore the beauty above and below ground at Talking Rocks Cavern. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play, and Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sara Forhetz.
Good morning to you on a frigid Monday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and boy, it is a cold one. It might be
Yes.
We may set a record today. I don't know. It's cold.
Yeah. And with the holiday, a lot of people off work today, so might be a good thing that there won't be as many cars on the road. The deep freeze continues. It is frigid. A winter storm warning and winter weather advisory are in effect for all different parts of the Ozarks. So wind chill advisory is also in effect. The good news is that schools are closed, many of them, not all, but many of them. So not as many school buses or kids running to and fro. But because of the cold weather, unfortunately, the annual MLK March and events are canceled for today. The march usually travels through downtown Springfield, but again, it is off due to those frigid temperatures. You can check it out where we're headed temperature-wise in our Wake Up Weather with Abby, and it's nowhere. We're not headed far from where we are right now, so brace yourself for that. Hillcrest High School is creating a scholarship to honor science teacher Jennifer Bryant, who lost her life in a car crash last week on I-44. Friday night was a celebration of life for her, attended by hundreds of former and current students, other teachers, and then many friends and family members. A fund was created for that scholarship with the goal of raising $25,000. The money will go to a graduating senior who is planning a career in science. Mrs. Bryant was leaving school on January 5th when she was hit head on by a semi-truck that crossed the median on I-44. Tragic.
Yeah, it's a horrific tragedy, but what a great way to honor her going forward, and something that her family can certainly be proud of.
Yes. Well, a priest and founder of the Ozarks Afro-American Heritage Museum has passed away at the age of 73. Father Moses Berry lived on a farm in Ash Grove that was part of his family for nearly 150 years. Can you even imagine? He opened that museum on Main Street in Ash Grove in 2002.
Okay, Missouri's low-interest loan program called MoBucks allotted $119 million to applicants just recently. It happened within 6 hours. 142 applications came in and accounted for that money. Treasurer Vivek Malik recently lowered the maximum loan amount from $10 million to $5 million so that they could meet the needs of more borrowers in the state. Tomorrow night, the Springfield School Board could vote on whether it will close Robertson Elementary School. We've been telling you about this for a while now. The last meeting got delayed because of weather. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. SPS administration is recommending that the board does, in fact, close it. Robertson is the oldest school in the district at more than 100 years old, and has been seeing its student population continue to shrink over the years. Now they're down to just about 150 students or so. So that plays into the administration's decision to recommend it be closed. The school board will make that vote. And if the board votes to close Robertson, students would be reassigned to Boyd Elementary, which is just a couple of years old.
Springfield Public Schools also are testing the drinking water in schools for lead, that following a new state law. As the test results come in, the district will alert parents if any drinking water shows lead concentration in excess of 5 parts per billion. The district will also take action to address any issues that might come up. Results will be posted on SPS website.
Professional sports teams in the state of Missouri are trying hard to get sports betting legalized in the state. In fact, you could say they're putting on a full court press. They're launching an initiative petition to form an end around the state legislature. That's 2 sports funds, which is not approved.
A go around, not an end around.
An end around is football. Yeah. Anywho. Leave the sports stuff to me.
Okay, sure enough.
The teams supporting gambling include your St. Louis Cardinals, the Blues, St. Louis City Soccer Club, as well as the Kansas City Chiefs, the Royals, and the Current up in Kansas City. They have until May to collect 180,000 signatures and will use their sports venues to try to gather those signatures. So they really want this to happen. If they get those signatures, it will go on the ballot, and voters will decide the issue in November, which is going to be a big turnout because it's a presidential election as well. So
I'm voting no.
It's all or nothing.
I'm voting no. You know what? I worked in the Capitol building, actually the Cannon building, outside the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. when I was, 20 for a year or so. And it was terrible because people were addicted to gambling and they were taking out second mortgages on their house. And I was like the constituent liaison. So I had to field all the phone calls of the wife letting me know that, right, it's different kind of gambling, but it's still gambling.
But you were in Oklahoma at the time.
Yeah.
And it was what, Indian casinos there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the point is that it's addictive. That's the point.
Well, I lived in Las Vegas, so I am aware.
Yes.
I am aware. I like the idea personally. I don't like the idea of casinos everywhere. I like the idea of what it originally was, Las Vegas and Atlantic City. So then people go there and they take money. They take money to lose, right? Most people take money to lose, thinking that, I'm going to have fun playing the game, and if I lose this, it's okay because I've allotted for it. I planned for it. But it is addictive. It can be. I mean, I know people personally who had an addiction, and it was very, very costly to their family, both in terms of
marriage,
finances and stress. It was rough. It was rough. So it can be very addictive. And now, the way that it is now, with so many casinos everywhere, and if sports gambling is on your phone while you're sitting here, it just makes it so much easier for people who may have a problem, who would never gamble and find out that they have a problem. And I get personal responsibility. I'm all for personal responsibility. I just think that if it's too widespread, there's a greater potential of it becoming a problem. We're going to get a call from the Cardinals. We're going to get a call from the Blues and the Royals.
You know what? They were not 20-year-old Sara sitting in the Cannon building
telling us we're swaying the election.
To the crying wife whose husband just took out a second mortgage on the house and has already pawned her wedding ring. And anywho,
yeah, I know.
I don't care. You can call me though if you want. I'd love to talk to you, Cardinals, because I think my husband should be the voice of the Cardinals, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I could be your agent.
Aren't you sweet?
I could be your agent.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Move on.
Pay it off so far. Success for the Chiefs in their first game of the playoffs this year. They beat the Arctic cold, and beat the Dolphins 26-7 Saturday night in what was the fourth coldest game in NFL history. The fourth coldest. It was -4 at kickoff. That's the beginning of the game, and it got worse from there. It was the coldest game ever to be played at Arrowhead. So, do we know anybody who was there?
The Stringers were not. No, I don't know. I thought they were going, but they didn't.
Well, I know Around the Ozarks gave away tickets to that game, so somebody went and was no doubt frozen solid. All right, so what else is happening? The Chiefs will find out tonight who they'll face in the next round of the playoffs. Steelers at Bills game was moved to tonight. It was postponed because of so much snow over the weekend. They worried that there would be no crowd there, that they can't get there. The roads are shut down. Craziness. The Chiefs will head to Buffalo next week. If the Bills beat the Steelers, the Chiefs will go to Buffalo. Otherwise, the Chiefs will host Houston, and it may be that cold again in Buffalo next weekend. But if the Chiefs host Houston, I think it's going to be a little bit warmer up at Arrowhead a week from now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the 2024 regular season schedule is set. The Chiefs will play the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chargers, Ravens, Bengals, Saints, Buccaneers, and Texans at home. Then they'll go on the road to play away at Denver, Las Vegas, LA, the Chargers, Atlanta, Carolina, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and San Francisco.
Okay. Well, over the weekend, it was frigid, as you know. And get this, local law enforcement, this is not a story from elsewhere across the globe. Local law enforcement rescued a calf from a frozen pond on Saturday. Can you even imagine going in to rescue a calf from a frozen pond? It was like 2 degrees. In fact, actually, it was -10 at the time of the rescue by Ebenezer firefighters and Greene County deputies. So kudos to both of them. Greene County posted about it and said at the bottom, want to be a part-time cowboy and drive cool cars. That's funny.
They used it as a way to recruit. That's cute. I like it.
Right.
Of course,
Except
they need.
For it's not cute because it's -10. Like it should have been like a more fun operation. Nobody wants to sign up for that.
But it's want to be a cowboy. I want to be a cowboy. They need deputies for sure.
Yep. Yeah. All right. That's it. I think. Right.
I think so. I think so. That'll wrap it for a Monday.
Yes, that'll wrap it for a Monday, and I hope that you get to stay home today. But not you, Ethan. Oh, you too, in fact. But anybody. Yeah. So be careful.
It's a holiday. It's a holiday. And I
was on I-44 last night. And there was a big old crash. Actually, it was in Oklahoma, like close to Oklahoma, Missouri, I suppose. But I don't know, man. I feel sorry for the law enforcement who have to work that, and then the people who get stuck. It was 8 semi trucks, I think, 5 semi trucks.
You were coming back from a swim meet. Were you there with the girls? And a bunch of people who were at the meet from Springfield left ahead of you, and they got stuck on the interstate for hours, sitting there, right, not moving.
Yeah.
You found out, you ran into an Oklahoma State trooper at a convenience store where you stopped to get a coffee on your way home. And he said, you told him.
I prayed for him. I gave him my ice scraper. And guess what? It paid off because I did not get stuck on I-44 and did not get, I don't even know the end of the story because they were still sitting there.
But the story is that he told you, don't get on Interstate 44. It's shut down. There's a wreck.
Yes.
So you took 60 over and then cut up to Joplin on back roads, really.
Yeah.
But you got home in
before. One piece. Yes.
Well, a few hours before the people who left ahead of you from the swim meet.
Right. Man. Anyway, but that trooper, all that to say, try not to be on the roads if possible. He was like, you need a batten down in Veneta. That's what he said. I was like,
he needs to get a scraper.
That's what I thought, but I felt sorry.
What's a state trooper doing without a scraper? He was a trooper
too, not like a young whippersnapper. I mean, he was young, but like he was a trooper. I'm like, come on, dude. Yeah. I know. Don't worry. I gave him a good one, prayed over him, and sent him on his way. I didn't even ask him if I could pray. I just did it.
Took a lady's scraper.
He probably thought I was crazy. I don't care. Anyway, it's fine. Okay. That's all. And we digress. Happy Monday, folks.
Yeah, we'll see you back. I think, by the way, I was looking at the record books. This is the coldest podcast in Around the Ozarks history. It was the one that we're doing right now. So mark it down. Mark it down. All right. See you tomorrow.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Monday. For some of you, it is a holiday, which is great news because we need to limit the traffic on the roadways. Definitely some slick spots out there this morning from some of the snowfall that came through late yesterday afternoon into the evening hours, acquiring some couple inches in a few places. And it's the type of snow that's really dry and it kind of just stuck to the really, really cold streets and created some slick spots in some regions. So good news is that some folks not at work, not at school today. That's fantastic across the Ozarks. The bad news is it is just brutally cold. Even where we had some snow, kids aren't able to enjoy it. It's just way too cold and dangerous to be out in these types of numbers. The bitter cold, it persists today, and we have another wind chill warning in effect. That is going to stick around through the rest of the day, all the way through Tuesday. In fact, we will see these dangerous cold temperatures and dangerous wind chill values. This morning, temperatures in the negatives, actual real temperatures. We have some folks below zero. Past a certain point, it doesn't even really matter what the temperature is. It is just downright cold. I mean, in my opinion, you get less than 20 degrees and it's cold, but we are -1, -2 across the Ozarks as of 5 a.m. We'll warm it up a little bit today, maybe make it to double digits, but boy, it's going to be cold all day long. And I expect that those wind chill values will stay below the 0 point all day long. It's incredibly cold across the Ozarks. We have feels like temperatures this morning, -10 to -15. I mean, this is the type of weather and the type of cold that you just can't mess around with. I mean, if you have to be outside, you've got to protect all parts of your body. No skin exposed for any duration of time is safe. And of course, make sure you're keeping those emergency supplies in the vehicles, the extra blankets, bottles of water, even though they'll freeze. But you do need the extra warmth in the car. Just keep that in mind. Additional light snow is in the forecast today, but I think today the difference is that it's going to fall where it didn't yesterday. Yesterday, most of those showers stayed well south of Highway 54. The accumulating snow really down in the Boston Mountains, northern Arkansas, making some of our headlines for highest snowfall totals. Today, not high snowfall totals. In fact, I think most areas will see less than an inch of accumulation, but the best chance of seeing that today is going to be along and north of Highway 60. So folks that didn't see the snow yesterday, roads are primarily clear up in those places today. Just know that if you get to where you're going this morning and you're heading home this afternoon, there might be some snow showers. And once again, I think we could see some minor travel impacts from that. It's primarily going to be like I-70 to Highway 60 that we have the best chance for some light snow showers. They could begin as early as the lunch hour today, but I think more likely they'll be closer to 3 p.m. That's when the snow will be going from time to time. It'll wrap by this evening. It's a little quick moving shot of snow. Won't be much, but as we've been saying the last couple of days and we've experienced, it doesn't take much in temperatures this cold to create some traffic hazards. There will be some moderation in the temperature as we head closer to Wednesday and Thursday. We'll crawl above that freezing point after being well below for days. Problem is, when I look at some of the long-range models, I see another shot of really cold air heading toward the Ozarks and much of the southern portion of the country. This is when you look out in that 6 to 10 day forecast. I expect that we'll see well below average temperatures for much of the southeast. In fact, the entire East Coast expecting some cooler than normal temperatures. Today, we're looking at a high of 10 degrees in Springfield. Wind chills will be dangerous. There's that wind chill advisory, as I mentioned. Tonight, we'll fall back to -1, and then tomorrow we'll start to climb into the teens, 17 degrees for the high temperature on Tuesday. We're at 38 by Wednesday with some sunshine. So hopefully we'll do some much needed thawing Wednesday and Thursday before another shot of cold air arrives, and that happens by Friday. Around the country, we have dangerous cold that persists for much of the United States. And the mid and deep south, well, we saw some freezing rain and some snow chances all the way back into Texas, portions of Louisiana, Tennessee. They're seeing the snowfall today. We will continue to see some moderate impacts from that in the headlines on this Monday. And then the Pacific Northwest and the Great Basin gearing up to see yet another round of winter weather. It has just been so active across the country for the last 7 days, and it looks like this pattern is going to stay pretty active as we head through the rest of January. I don't see many more big chances for snow for us, but there are several chances in here where we get these quick little moving systems that could drop us maybe an inch of snowfall, and that all adds up to create our seasonal averages. So we'll keep a close eye on that for you. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question today, sponsored by Scooters Coffee. $20 to Scooters. That's what we give away every single day. You could be a winner just like Dave, Kathy, Heather, Marianne, and Sue Ellen. All are 5 winners from last week. So, all right, here was the question that I left you with. I will pull it up here and we can see if you got it right or not if you entered over at aroundtheozarks.com. The location known as Cat Island is found in which country? And the options that I gave you were A, in China, B, Egypt, C, Philippines, or D, Japan. Those of you that guessed D, Japan, Congratulations. That is the correct answer. Cat Island in Japan, and it is no exaggeration. This is a cat's island. There are about 15 to 20 residents of the island, and there are more than 120 cats. So it is more than 6 times the human population on that island. Very small island, by the way, but you can visit if you're a cat lover and you are going to be in Japan. A one-way ticket to a ferry that will take you to Cat Island will cost you about $10. So if you want to see an island run by cats, you could do that if you go to Japan. I bet they have a lot of tourists and only 10 people that live there. All right, here's your question for tomorrow. What do male lions do for about 20 hours per day? Do you think they A, hunt, B, watch the cubs, C, mark their territory, or D, sleep? You can enter your guess. That happens over at aroundtheozarks.com. Thanks to our sponsors, Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. We sure appreciate you listening here this morning on this Monday. I hope everybody has a very safe and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I know it's cold. Stay inside if you can. Bundle up. Find a way to stay warm. We'll get through it. We just have really 2 more full days of the extreme cold. And then we start to dig out a little bit by the middle of the week. If you need to check the forecast all throughout the afternoon, we'll have it updated for you. That's aroundtheozarks.com. Thanks for listening. We'll chat again early tomorrow morning.